The first time I saw her, the entire hall went silent. Not because of her presence, though she carried herself with a quiet dignity that could have commanded any room, but because the others were whispering, staring, and turning their faces away. Some looked uncomfortable. Others looked disgusted. I didn't understand why. Not at first. Not until she turned her head, and the light caught the jagged silver mark running from the corner of her left eye down to her jawline. A long, uneven scar, almost metallic in texture, glowing faintly with the bioluminescence characteristic of her species. She was Xelari, a towering race with crystalline bones and glowing skin, usually considered one of the most beautiful species in the galaxy. But her glow was uneven. Her skin shimmered dull in places. Her scar pulsed with fractured light. And they rejected her for it. All of them. I stood among hundreds of aliens in the Xelari capital of Aruvia, my first time on their world, watching as she held her datapad tightly to her chest, ignoring the whispers that chased her like shadows. She shouldn't be here, she's defective. Unfortunate accident. Ruined her. No one will pair with someone like that. And then she dropped her papers. The datapad slipped from her hands first, clattering loudly on the crystalline floor. 100 sheets followed, fluttering through the air like fallen leaves. The whispers grew louder. No one bent down. No one helped her. Except me. I stepped forward without thinking, crouched down, and began collecting the papers. When I looked up at her, she stared at me as if I had done something impossible. You're helping me, she said softly. Of course, I replied. Why wouldn't I? She blinked. Once. And then she whispered. Because no one ever does. Beginning, the woman with the fractured light. Her name was Sarina Velrav, and she was the daughter of one of the Xelari counselors, though judging by how the others treated her, that title meant nothing. We walked together through the grand hall after I'd helped gather her things. You are human, she said, studying me with curiosity. And yet, you didn't hesitate. You didn't even flinch. Shrugged. It was just a scar. Everyone has something. But she shook her head. Among my people, being scarred like this means imperfection. It means unworthy. I frowned. That's ridiculous. A scar doesn't make you less. She paused, as if tasting my words. Humans think differently, she murmured. I've heard your species values resilience, history, even flaws. We do, I answered. I do. Something softened in her gaze. Something warm and vulnerable. I didn't know it then, but that was the moment her life began to change. Sarina guided me through Aruvia's crystalline corridors toward the council chamber. I was there as a representative from Earth, bringing a proposal for trade and research collaboration. My job was purely diplomatic. But she was the one who captured my attention. As we walked, I noticed the way the other Xelari stared at her. Some openly, some with practiced subtlety. She shouldn't be working as a council assistant, someone whispered. Her appearance distracts from the council's grace. She should remain unseen. Sarina kept her head down, but I could see how hard she clenched her hands. When we reached the chamber entrance, she stopped. I will escort you inside, she said formally. But after that, I should keep my distance. Why? I asked. Because people will judge you for walking beside someone like me. I let out a breath. Then let them judge. Her eyes widened, not with fear, but with something closer to disbelief. You don't understand what you're saying, she whispered. My scar is a reminder of failure. A reminder that I survived when others didn't. Her voice trembled. You survived, I corrected gently. That makes you strong, not flawed. She stared at me for several seconds. No one had ever said that to her. I could see it in the way her breath caught. Middle, the night of truth. By the end of the day, the council meeting had gone well. But all I could think about was Serena. Her quiet sadness, her strength, her loneliness. Later that evening, as I walked along the glowing pathways of the Xelari capital, I heard someone call out, "Human!" Turned. Serena stood beneath a column of blue-white light, her glow shimmering faintly in the night. "You walk alone," she said. "You too," I replied. A shadow passed over her expression. "I am used to it." I nodded toward the walkway. "Mind if I join you?" She hesitated. And then very quietly, "I would like that." We walked together through crystalline gardens where luminous flowers bloomed like stars. The air smelled faintly of metal and honey. Above us, 2 moons crossed paths in the sky, casting shifting patterns of light on the ground. "I wasn't born with this scar," she said suddenly. "Listen. It happened during the Great Crystal Collapse 5 years ago. My team was trapped beneath a broken biostructure. I stayed behind to hold the shields long enough for them to escape." "You saved them," I whispered. "A few," she said softly. "Not all." Her voice tightened. "The explosion, it should have killed me. Instead, it burned through my skin and damaged my luminescence. My people see their glow as sacred. When mine dimmed, so did their respect for me." "That's not fair," I said. "It is tradition," she replied. "And tradition is difficult to change." I stopped walking. "Serena," I said gently. "When I saw you today, I didn't see a defect. I saw someone brave enough to stand in a room full of people who treated her badly." Her lips parted slightly. "That is kindness." "No," I corrected. "It's the truth." Her glow brightened ever so slightly, like a heartbeat of light. We continued walking until we reached a quiet balcony overlooking the city. She leaned on the railing, looking down at the shimmering lights below. "Do you know what I feared most after the accident?" she asked. "What?" "That no one would ever look at me again without flinching." She swallowed. "Today, you looked at me differently." I stepped closer. "I looked at you like someone I wanted to understand." Her breath hitched. "Human," she whispered. "You don't realize what you're doing to me." I smiled gently. "Maybe. But you're not stopping me." She turned slowly toward me, the bioluminescent patterns across her skin glowing like a nebula. "No," she whispered. "I'm not." The turning point. When the council interferes. Over the next several days, Serena guided me through the city, teaching me about Xelari culture, science, and customs. We shared stories, laughter, and moments of silence that felt strangely comfortable. But not everyone approved. On the 4th day, her father, a tall, imposing counselor with crystal armor embedded into his skin, called her into the chamber. And he summoned me as well. "Human," he said coldly, "your presence here is welcome. Your intentions toward my daughter are not." Serena inhaled sharply. "Father." He silenced her with a gesture. "She is marked. Imperfect. Unfit for companionship." I clenched my fists. "With respect, sir, her value is not defined by a scar." "That is precisely what defines her," he snapped. "Appearance is everything in our culture. To associate with her closely is to diminish yourself." Serena flinched, but I stepped forward. "Not to humans," I said firmly. "Not to me." Her father narrowed his eyes.